Yo, what's good guys, and welcome back to the Xetro Beats TV. Like always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to leave a like to this video. Appreciate all the support. So I recently dropped a new beat album called Follow the Light on all the streaming platforms. I wanted to restart the grind on Spotify and try to be consistent, releasing beats every month, because I was feeling like I was leaving money on the table, you know, because even if they are not too much for now, because like I'm not making too much streams, but it's like that, you know. If you can, you have to try to use all the source of income that you can to make a living as a music producer. So I say like, yeah, I'm not using like too much Spotify, so let's try to increase the streams, being consistent with the drops. So I dropped this album of 14 beats that you probably already listened on my Instagram, on Beatstar, because they aren't like new stuff, but I just pick up some of my favorite beats I made in the past month and I put them all together to make this album, you know what I'm saying? And there are also some rappers that find beats on Spotify, so this is an opportunity to sell some more beats. So yeah, I advise you to start dropping your beats on Spotify and on all the digital streaming platforms. Try to make some more money and to have some more possibilities to sell your beats. Anyway, I asked you via Instagram which was the best track, your favorite track, and I said that I wanted to make a breakdown of your favorite beat from the album. And some of y'all asked me to do the breakdown of Money Count. That is like a Ghana type beat. So let's jump into the project of this beat and let's get it. Here is the project. Let's listen the first like 10 seconds so you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's start this breakdown from the melody. I think that everything started from this vocal that I found on Splice that sound like this. On this vocal, I put just some compression with this LA2 that older than compress the vocal. It add also some color to the vocal. This compressor makes everything sound so fire, bro, I'm not gonna lie. And then I just add some reverb with the classic Valhalla Vintage Verb, one of my favorites reverb I always use. So I start from this vocal and I try to add some other elements to fit with it. So after the vocal, I add this super simple flute. So basically just two notes that repeats for the whole 8 bar. So as you can hear, there is the reverb. I use the Vintage Verb also with this flute, and then I also add a little bit of delay with the stock FL delay, the delay 2, with the mix at 27%, so just a little bit, so to make it more spacey and wide in the mix, because as you can hear, compared to the vocals, it's an element that is behind it. After that flute, I add this pad from a contact bank called Ethereal Earth. It's a bank that contains a lot of ambient sounds and pad and things like that sound like this. So another spacey sound to fill the background of the melody. And to this part, I put just a shaper box with a pan feature to make it move left and right with a mix at 47%. So just to make it move a little bit. It's a sound that already have reverb on it, so it's another element, like I said, to fill the background and make the melody more spacey. So with the vocal and the flute, it sounds like this. Let's go with the fourth element, that is this bell. That is another sound from Contact, from the bank Mollet Flux, and this is the Celesta preset. I use this bell a lot because it sounds too fire, and the pattern sound like this. So very simple. And all together sound like this. And this is basically the intro. As you can hear, everything is so simple, but everything sounds so perfect together because it's all about sound selection, find the right sounds that fits together, and then you don't have to do some crazy things. So yeah, if you're struggling to make melodies, one of the most important thing is sound selection. So use good sounds first of all, and try to find the best way to combine them together. But it's just a thing that you develop with experience and a lot of practice. I mean, because when I started to make my first samples, they didn't sound like the one I made right now. So it's just about practice, like always. Anyways, if you want to use some fire royalty-free sample, you can join my Patreon. I leave you the link in the description here. There's more than 300 samples there, and I publish new one basically every week. So I advise you to take a look to it. And I also offer beat reviews, so you can send me your beats and I will listen to them, and I will tell you what you can do to improve them. You can have discount on my kits, you can have access to some of my projects. Check the link of my Patreon in the description. The last element I added is this violin. So it's the Stradivari violin from Kontakt with the pizzicato feature that make it sound like this. So basically the drop with just the melody sound like this. So this violin makes everything move. It works like a counter melody, and also it makes the melody bounce a little bit, creates some movement. I didn't mention the effect I put on the bell. So on the bell I put this delay called Replica XT, so just to use some different delays. And about the violin, I put also here just a delay. Here I use the delay free with the Pimpock preset with the mix at 28%, so just to make it fit a little bit better the mix. As you can see, I use different delays instead of use just one, because I like to make it everything sound different. Yeah, I use a couple of times the Valhalla reverb, for example, but sometimes I use, for example, on one instrument I use the Valhalla, in another instrument I use another one, you know. I try to be different with the effects, so every element has its own sound, you know. So every element is routed to this bus, and on this bus I put an EQ that cut the lows. Then I put an oxide tape recorder to give some tape saturation, and then I use an RC20 to give that extra vintage color. Alright, now it's time for the drums. So the drums sound like this. These are all sounds that you can find inside the Etc Drum Kit Volume 3 that is available on Waves Alchemy together with all my kits, and soon I will drop a new one. It will be a fire kit with a lot of sounds in it, all made with synths or sound processed through the pedals, so everything will have that analog touch, you know, that makes everything sound so cool. But let's get back to the drums. Let's start from the hi-hats. Hi-hats, super simple. I didn't put even a roll on it, so basics, 2 steps, nothing crazy. Alright, there's some reverb on it. Yeah, there's some reverb on it. I use the fruity reverb. I just put this dump knob down, and then I turn down the mix. And that's it. Then we have the clap. On the clap there is anything, but there is anything on any channel. Just on the highest I put some reverb, but all the other drums channel are empty. 808. Super basic pattern that makes the same note for all the 8 bars. And then here in the end, this is a trick that sometimes I use, is to put like a note with zero volume, so zero velocity after another note, and this creates this like stop effect, you know, bam bam bam, because if I delete this note, the note of the 808 will continue. Yeah, there is obviously another way to make it, like if you go here and activate the envelope and you put like everything, every knob like this, then if you go in your piano roll, you can choose the length of the note, and obviously the note will stop here or here, depends on how long I made the notes, but it's just to make the process more faster, because it's quicker to do it like that if I have to do something like this, you know. And about the 808, like I said, I don't have anything on it. I just boost a little bit, 21% from this EQ knob. That's it, nothing more. Alright, after the 808, I put an open hat. Then we have a perk. Just to add some more bounce in the drums. And final touch, a perk loop. It adds that extra bounce. Perk loops are cheat code, bro. I mean, I don't put them in every of my beats, but I usually use them because it's like you add that missing piece, you know. They makes the drums sound more fire, bro. So that's it for the drums. Every drum is connected to this drum bus, and I don't have anything on it. I just use this to put all the drums in mono, because most of the times, not every time, but most of the time, I like to keep my drums in the center, so the drums sound in the center and I have all the melody around it, so I leave more space for the melody. All right, let's talk about like the structure. I decided to do this intro, so I have the drums for 4 bars, then I remove them and then I add them later for the drop. It's a kind of intro that I like it to do sometimes. Then we start with the verse here. Then we have the hook, so we have all the melody elements and all the drums elements. And when the vocals come back, it sounds too fire, in my opinion. Then we have our 16-bar verse. So basically for the first verse, I removed the 808 about the drums, and about the melody I kept just the vocals and the bell. And I put the vocals an octave down to make some variation. I kept just the final part of the 808 to introduce the listener to the second verse. The second verse, I removed the open hat, I removed the perk, I removed the bell, but I put the violin again, and also the pad. And then we have the bridge with all the melody elements, and then everything repeats for another time, basically. About the master, I put a fresh air to saturate a little bit everything, give that sparkle on the high frequency. So just a little touch, 4% and 4% on the mids and on the highs. We have our soft clipper, and then yeah, these two are just a loudness meter and a span to see the frequency spectrum so they don't affect the sound. So basically I have just fresh air and soft clipper, okay? That's it guys, this is the breakdown of Money Count. I hope you enjoy it, I hope you like the beat. I leave you the link in the description for the album if you want to go listen the other beats, I would appreciate that. And see you in the next video guys.